Right now, while you're sitting there watching this, your dog might be trying to tell you that something is seriously wrong. And there's a very good chance you're reading the signal completely backwards. Here's the part that scares me as a vet. Dogs are hardwired to hide their pain. It's an ancient survival instinct. Out in the wild, an animal that looks weak or sick becomes the first target for predators. So your dog will keep wagging, keep eating, keep meeting you at the door with that happy face, right up until the moment they physically cannot hide it anymore. And for a lot of conditions, by the time it becomes that obvious, the window to help them has already started to close. But here's the good news, and it's the reason I made this video. Your dog is leaving you clues every single day. Tiny, strange, easy to miss behaviors that most owners laugh off, film for social media, or even scold, when what they should really be doing is paying very close attention. Stick with me all the way to the end, because behavior number 7 can take a perfectly healthy dog from totally fine to fighting for its life in under 2 hours, and almost nobody recognizes it until it's too late. Hi, I'm Dr. Sarah Bennett, and I've spent years as a veterinarian with my hands on thousands of dogs, in the exam room and in the emergency room at 2 in the morning. And if there's one thing all those years taught me, it's this. Dogs can't talk. They can't say, "My stomach hurts," or "My back is killing me today," or "I'm scared." Every single thing they feel, the pain, the fear, the nausea, and yes, the love, they can only show us through their body and their behavior. The trouble is that our brains and their brains run on completely different operating systems. We look at a dog and we see a little furry person, so we hand them our human emotions. We call them guilty, spiteful, dramatic, stubborn, needy. And when we do that, we completely miss what they're actually trying to say. Today, I'm going to be your translator. We're going to go through 7 behaviors that owners get wrong all the time, what they truly mean, and exactly what you should do about each one. Before we jump in, one quick thing. For months now, so many of you have left the same comment under my videos. It's some version of, "Dr. Bennett, how do I keep all of this straight? How do I actually build these habits into my everyday life with my dog?" I heard you. So I finally sat down and put everything I know into one simple place. The early warning checklists, the at-home routines I walk my own clients through, the gentle exercises that keep aging joints moving, and even a handful of easy, vet-friendly recipes for dogs who need a little extra care. It's the thing I wish every dog owner had sitting on their kitchen counter, because catching just one of the signs we're about to talk about a single day earlier can be the difference between a quick fix and a heartbreak. You can grab it at the link in the description or in the pinned comment below. Okay, let's get into it. Behavior number 1, the head press. Picture this. Your dog walks over to the wall or into a corner and gently rests the top of its head against it. And then it just stays there, sometimes for a few seconds, sometimes for minutes. Most owners see this and think it's adorable, or maybe a little sad. Is he pouting? Is he hiding? Is he being shy? I need you to hear me very clearly on this one. This is not the same as your dog pushing its head into your hand or your leg for affection. That head bump into you, where they're relaxed and asking for a scratch, is completely normal and sweet. What I'm describing is different. It's the top of the head, pressed into a hard surface, held there, often with a blank, glazed stare. In veterinary medicine, we call this head pressing, and it is one of the most serious neurological red flags there is. It can be a sign that toxins are building up in the bloodstream because the liver isn't working right. It can be a sign of poisoning. It can be a sign of a problem in the brain itself. Let me give you a real example. I once had an owner tell me their dog had been sulking in the corner for a couple of days. That dog wasn't sulking. Its liver was struggling and the toxins were affecting its brain. The correct way to respond is simple, and it is not wait and see. If you see genuine head pressing, especially along with things like circling, pacing, bumping into furniture, or seeming disoriented, you call your veterinarian or an emergency clinic that same day. This is one where hours truly matter. Behavior number 2, the lip licking that has nothing to do with food. Your dog keeps licking its lips or licking at the air or swallowing over and over, and there isn't a crumb of food anywhere in sight. Almost everyone reads this as, "Oh, he wants a treat, he's hungry." And sometimes, sure, there's a snack on your plate, but when it happens out of context, it usually means one of two very different things. The first is stress. Lip licking is what behaviorists call a calming signal. It's one of the ways dogs tell the world and themselves, "I'm uncomfortable, please ease off." You'll see it at the vet's office, during a tense moment, or when they're being scolded. The second possibility is medical. Repeated lip licking and swallowing, especially with drooling, can be a sign of nausea, acid reflux, or pain in the mouth from a bad tooth. And this brings me to something owners drastically underestimate. Dental disease is one of the most common sources of chronic daily pain in dogs, and it stays almost invisible until you go looking. So here's the correct way to respond. Read the context. If the licking lines up with a stressful moment, lower the pressure and give your dog some room. But if it's happening randomly and often, especially with drooling or bad breath, or if your dog suddenly starts chewing on just one side of its mouth, get that mouth checked. You might be catching a painful problem your dog has been quietly living with for months. Behavior number 3, the scoot. You know the one. Your dog plants its back end on your nice clean carpet and drags itself across the room like it's on a mission. It's a little gross, it's a little funny, and most people assume it means worms. Sometimes it does, but far more often, scooting is your dog telling you that its anal glands, 2 little scent sacs back there, are full, impacted, or irritated. It can also be a sign of allergies or itchy skin around the rear. Here's why you shouldn't just laugh it off if it keeps happening. Impacted glands that get ignored can become infected and even form an abscess, which is truly painful and needs medical care. The correct way to respond is to pay attention to frequency. An occasional scoot, no big deal. But a dog that's scooting again and again, licking back there, or that has a foul smell or any swelling near the tail, needs a trip to the vet or groomer to have those glands checked and expressed. And a little bonus for you. For some dogs, the right amount of fiber in their diet can help those glands empty on their own. So that's a great conversation to have with your veterinarian. Behavior number 4, the yawn that isn't about being sleepy. We all know the big, tired, end-of-the-day yawn. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a dog that starts yawning in a situation that has nothing to do with sleep. At the vet, when a stranger leans over them, when the kids are crowding in for a hug, during a frustrating training session, owners usually think, he's bored, or he's so relaxed. It's actually the opposite. That out-of-place yawn is another calming signal. It's a way your dog releases tension and quietly says, "This is a lot for me right now. Please give me space." And here is where it becomes really important, especially for families with children. Picture a child wrapping their arms around the family dog while the dog yawns, licks its lips, and turns its head away. To us, that looks like a sweet photo. To the dog, that's a polite warning, and if that warning keeps getting ignored, a growl or even a bite can be next. The correct way to respond is to treat these signals as gold. When you see repeated yawning in a tense moment, give your dog an exit. Teach your kids that when the dog walks away or yawns, that means leave me be. Reading this one behavior correctly can prevent a bite before it ever happens. Behavior number 5. The slowdown we blame on getting old. This is the one I probably see missed the most, and it breaks my heart every time. Your dog starts hesitating before jumping onto the couch, takes the stairs a little slower, doesn't bring the toy over as often, sleeps more, and almost every owner says the same thing. Well, he's just getting older. It's normal. I want to gently push back on that. Aging itself is not a disease. Pain is. And what looks like a dog slowing down is very often a dog living with untreated joint pain, most commonly arthritis, which is dramatically underdiagnosed. Dogs rarely limp and cry the way we'd expect. Instead, they just quietly do less, and we mistake their suffering for the calendar. I once treated a big Labrador whose family thought he'd simply gotten lazy over the past year. He wasn't lazy. He was in pain with every step. A few weeks into a proper pain management plan, his family told me he was acting like a puppy again. So here's the correct way to respond, and please take this one seriously. Don't accept "he's just old" as the final answer. Have your veterinarian do a proper exam, because today we have safe, effective options, from joint support to weight management to physical therapy to prescription medications made specifically for dogs. And this part is critical. Never ever give your dog human painkillers. Ibuprofen, naproxen, and acetaminophen, that's the one in Tylenol, are toxic to dogs and can cause deadly damage to the kidneys, the liver, and the stomach. One more thing on this. If your dog is carrying even a few extra pounds, taking that weight off can ease joint pain more than almost anything else you can do. Behavior number 6, the sudden disappearing act. Your dog, who normally wants to be in the middle of everything, right at your feet, suddenly wants to be alone. They tuck themselves under the bed, or in a closet, or in the quietest corner of the house, and they stay there, away from the family. A lot of owners shrug and say, "He just wants some alone time," or "He's being moody today." But here's what you have to understand. Dogs instinctively hide when they feel sick, when they're in pain, or when they're frightened. It goes right back to that survival wiring. So when a dog that is normally social suddenly withdraws, that change is one of the clearest signals your dog can give you that something is physically wrong. I've seen this turn out to be a painful ear infection, a hidden injury, and the early stage of a serious illness. The correct way to respond is to pay attention to the change more than the behavior itself. Gently check in. Are they still eating and drinking? Using the bathroom normally? Are they trembling, panting, or flinching when you touch a certain spot? Don't drag them out and force them to socialize, but do get them looked at. And this leads me to the single most valuable rule in this entire video. You know your dog's normal better than any veterinarian on earth ever could. When your dog suddenly deviates from that normal, in its energy, its appetite, its habits, its personality, trust that instinct. That gut feeling is often the very first sign, long before any test comes back. And that brings us to behavior number 7, the one I told you to wait for, because this is the one that can kill a completely healthy dog in a matter of hours. Here's the scene. Your dog is restless. It can't seem to get comfortable, pacing around, lying down, getting back up. It's drooling more than usual, and it keeps trying to throw up, but nothing is coming out, or maybe just a little foam. And if you look closely, its belly might look bigger, tight, almost swollen. Most people see this and think, he must have eaten something bad, his tummy's upset, he'll sleep it off. Please do not let anyone in your home make that assumption. What I've just described can be bloat, known in medicine as gastric dilatation and volvulus. It's when the stomach fills with gas and then actually twists on itself, cutting off the blood supply. It is one of the fastest killing emergencies in all of veterinary medicine. A dog can go from looking basically fine to being in life-threatening shock in an hour or two. It's most common in large, deep-chested breeds, dogs like Great Danes, German Shepherds, Standard Poodles, and Weimaraners. But I want to be crystal clear, it can happen to almost any dog. So here is the correct way to respond, and it is the most important instruction in this entire video. This is a get in the car right now emergency. Do not wait until morning. Do not try to make your dog throw up. Do not wait for a regular appointment. You go straight to the nearest emergency veterinarian, because with bloat, every single minute counts. And on the prevention side, there are real things you can do. Feed smaller meals instead of one giant one. Avoid hard exercise right after your dog eats. And if your dog inhales its food, a slow feeder bowl can help. If you have one of those high-risk breeds, ask your vet about a preventive surgery called a gastropexy. It can be a literal lifesaver. So let me leave you with the thing I most want you to remember. Your dog is never being dramatic, or spiteful, or difficult, or lazy. They are a completely different species, with a completely different brain, doing the absolute best they can to reach across that gap and tell you how they feel. Your only job is to learn their normal, watch for the change, and trust your gut when something feels off. I promise you, it is always better to be the owner who called the vet over nothing than the one who waited a day too long. The fact that you watched this whole video tells me exactly what kind of owner you are, and your dog is lucky to have you. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which one of these 7 behaviors does your dog do the most? Drop it in the comments. I read them, and I love hearing about your dogs. If this helped you see your best friend a little more clearly, hit that like button, subscribe so the next one finds you, and share this with someone whose dog does something weird. And one last thing, because it matters. I'm a veterinarian, but I'm not your dog's veterinarian. Everything in this video is here to help you notice more and ask better questions. It is not a replacement for a hands-on exam and real professional veterinary care. If anything about your dog ever worries you, please call your own veterinarian. They are your best partner in keeping that wonderful dog healthy for years to come. I'm Dr. Sarah Bennett. Thanks for caring enough to watch, and I'll see you in the next one.